Welcome back to BattleLore 2nd Edition. We're about to begin the Uthuk second turn, or turn 2, and with the beginning of the turn, of course, is playing a command card as part of the first step. So what the Uthuk player is going to play is they're going to play Counter-Attack. And we'll just read the text here quickly. It says, play this card to copy the command card your opponent played last turn. Follow the instructions for the card as though you played it, reversing any sections. So basically what we're doing is we are going to play the card that the Dakan player played last time. If you remember, it was Wedge. So they are going to play that. Order one unit on the left, 2 in the center, 1 in the right. So that is what the Uthuk player is going to do. All right. So again, I'm going to use a little pile of mini dice. We're going to have 4 units that we are going to order. And we are going to order this cavalry unit. The Flesh Ripper Brutes. I am going to now order the Obscene. These Flesh Ripper Brutes. And lastly, this one lone Blood Harvester over there. All right, so I'm going to drill in a little bit closer here with the camera view. And we will do the move step. So just quickly, this one is not going to move anywhere, so I'll just consider him having done his move step. However, I'll just zoom in a little bit here, a little closer to the action, and we will move the other 3 units. Okay, so we're just about to move the other 3 units, and the one thing to remember from the Blood in the Water card, and I'll just review that quickly here, is friendly cavalry units may move into and occupy empty water hexes. Friendly cavalry units do not need to end their movement when they move into water hex, even if that hex contains a forward token. So basically, the cavalry units, which are the Flesh Ripper Brutes, can move through water. So I'm going to move this unit first, and they're going to move 1, 2, 3 to this water hex. So they basically moved onto and through the water hexes without impediment. That is their special ability because of that card. And I should mention, indeed, that, let's take a quick look, the Flesh Ripper Brutes indeed have 3 movement indicated here by the blue. So just to let you know. And now I'm going to move the Obscene unit. Now they can only move, let's take a look at their movement. A little bit special, we haven't looked at this card yet. The Obscene, they're an elite unit. They have a movement of 1, but they have Craving. It says, during your move step, this unit may move 1 additional hex as long as it ends this additional movement adjacent to an enemy unit. So let's have a look here and see if that's the case. I actually want to move them onto this space, 1 hex. However, they are 2 hexes away from the nearest enemy unit, so they will not be able to use their Craving ability. That's where they have to end their movement. All right, and the last unit that I have ordered, and now it's the move step, are these Flesh Ripper Brutes. And again, they're on water spaces, and that's a forward, so they do not have to stop. So they're just going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to move them right over here. They can move 3 spaces. All right, here we go. And now, that was the move step, and now we're going to get into the attack step. So I'm just going to adjust things again slightly, and we will do the attacks. Okay, so the first attack I want to do is I'm going to have the Flesh Ripper Brutes here attack the Citadel Guards on the victory point marker location. So I will remove the die so that we know that they are going to be finished their attack. When they do that, they actually have 3 attack dice. So I will get 3 attack dice, and we'll see how they do. And they get 1 damage, they get a special ability, and they have a lore token. So the Uthuk will collect 1 lore token for that, and they will also do 1 damage by doing that dice. So one of the Citadel Guard is defeated, and they also now have a special or heroic dice they can commit, and we'll look at their card again, and it says Bloodthirst. If the target unit has suffered 1 or more damage, cause 1 damage. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and commit that. So they've suffered a damage, they will suffer another one. So that's pretty decent. I like that. And now I am going to actually... I was going to have the Dakan play a card, but they are not going to bother. However, because the Citadel Guards are in the same square, they haven't moved, and they are now adjacent to the unit that attacked them, they do get a counter attack. However, they're weak now. So if you remember, the single sword die is not going to cut it. And the Citadel Guards attack dice, they also have 3 dice to attack with. So here's their counter attack on the Flesh Rippers. And counter attacks don't cause retreats, I don't believe. Anyway, this is a arrow archer. That is not going to do anything. I will just double check the rules on the retreat, and they have a special crown ability, and the Citadel Guards don't have a heroic ability. So I'm just going to double check the rules on retreat on a counter attack. I don't believe the unit does it, but let me just double check that. Okay, after a quick check of the rules, the retreat die can be used on the counter attack. So basically, the Flesh Ripper Brutes must retreat. The only thing that does not happen on a counterattack is the counterattacking unit cannot gain ground, they cannot advance, and they cannot use a pursue ability. However, the retreat, it says that it is performed as a normal combat. So the Flesh Ripper Brutes came in, took out a couple of the Citadel Guard, and the Citadel Guard drove them back a space. So, interesting. Now I'm going to remove the die from the Elite because, again, there is nothing around them. They're a melee unit, so they will not be attacking. And now I'm going to have to readjust the camera, and we'll do the other 2 attacks. Okay, so on the other side of the board here, we have the Flesh Ripper Brutes. I'm going to remove the die. They are now going to attack, and they're going to attack the archer units here. And they get 3 attack dice, so we'll see what they can do. And they get 1 hit, and of course that's for range, does not count, and they will collect 1 lore token. So, all that happened there is this archer unit is going to lose one of the units. Or, sorry, this is a unit, they're going to lose one of the members of the unit. So that was the Flesh Rippers' attack on the archers, damaging them a little bit, and now it is the turn of the 1 Blood Harvester here. I'll remove that die, and now they are going to actually have 5 attack dice, because if we look at their ability, the ability Rage says add 1 die to each combat roll performed by this unit for each figure missing from this unit. And yes, I forgot the counterattack. So let's do that right now. Again, the Flesh Ripper Brutes have attacked the archers. The archers are in the same space, so they will get to counterattack. They have a range of 1. They have 2 attack dice. They're going to shoot back at the Flesh Ripper Brutes. And they get 1 hit, and they cause the Flesh Ripper Brutes to retreat 1. So what's going to happen here is the Flesh Ripper Brutes must retreat back into the forest 1 space, and they also take 1 damage from the archers. So, not having a great turn here for the Uthuk player. However, we do now, as I'd mentioned, have 5 attack dice for the Blood Harvesters, and they are going to attack the Citadel Guard unit sitting on that victory point marker. So here we go, 5 dice. And they get 2 hits, a lore, a special, and of course, being a weak unit, this is not going to do anything. So they will collect a lore. So that's 3 lore they've collected, and now they're going to commit the 2 attack dice, which just causes both of them to be eliminated. So there's not much the Citadel Guards can do. Of course, they're not going to be able to counterattack because there are no units to counterattack, and we can advance with the Blood Harvesters. Now, they do have a crown, but we're not going to commit that to anything because they don't need to. However, their a special heroic ability is Frenzy, and that was to cause 1 damage, remove 1 figure from the unit after this combat. They don't need to do that. So they have successfully captured that victory point marker. So that's all well and good. Again, this didn't go quite as planned. However, these battles, there's dice involved. You're going to have a little bit of luck one way or the other. All right, so now we're on to the upkeep phase. I'm just going to readjust the camera out a bit so I can tally up all the victory points quickly. And we shall... oh, hang on. I do believe I have one more thing to play before I forget. And it is this Overwhelming Power lore card. It says play after an enemy unit is eliminated while on your opponent's half of the game board. Well, this is the opponent's half of the game board. We did eliminate an enemy unit. We're going to spend 2 lore tokens, is the cost to play this card. And when we do that, it says gain 1 victory point. So this card, playing this lore card, is going to gain us 1 victory point. So let's just keep that in mind as we tally things up. So I'm just going to back off and we're going to look at all the victory points. Okay, so here we are zoomed out a little bit so it's easier for me to count the victory points for the Uthuk player. And remember, we just got 1 for playing the lore card, which allowed them to get 1 victory point for eliminating the Citadel guards here. So that's 1. We have 2 for this victory point marker, 3 for that victory point marker, and 4 for this victory point marker. So that's 4 victory points for the Uthuk player this turn. And unfortunately, it says when an enemy unit occupying a water hex or adjacent to a water hex is eliminated, gain a victory point. And unfortunately, the unit we eliminated was right here. It is not adjacent to this water hex. Had it been, we would have got another victory point. So that's going to be a total of 4 victory points for the Uthuk player. So I'm going to cash in 1 of their 3. I'll put that back in the bucket and give them a 5. So now they have a total of 7 victory points at the end of the second turn. So again, things didn't go quite as well as I planned for Uthuk player. However, they did go quite well. And now, of course, that we've done the victory point step, now it is the draw step. So we are going to have to pull a command card for the Uthuk, and they pick Patrol Left. And that's order 2 units in the left section. So that goes into their hand. And now it is the lore phase, and the Uthuk player now has 4 lore left. They only have 1 lore card here, which is 8 to play. This is the one where you can deny the enemy their card and give them 1 to play instead. And I also, one little quick thing to mention is you'll notice a couple of times I've rolled 5 dice. Well, the game only comes with 4 dice, so they tell you to re-roll dice if you need to. I just went and I got an extra pack of dice. So that gives you a total of 12 if you buy an extra pack. Otherwise, the game only comes with 4, which I believe is not enough. I don't know why Fantasy Flight did that. They did the same thing with Eldritch Horror. They sort of shorted you on 1 or 2 dice they should have provided. However, we are now on the lore step, and we can either gain 2 lore tokens, we can gain a lore token and a lore card, or we can draw 2 lore cards and discard 1 from our total number of lore cards. So I'm going to do the 1 for 1. I'm going to grab 1 lore token and 1 faction-specific lore card. And so that will bring the Uthuk player up to 5 lore in total. And this lore card says 5, so this could be good. It's Unrelenting. It says play during your order step. Order 1 Flesh Ripper Brutes unit in addition to the orders provided by your command card. Move that Flesh Ripper Brutes unit up to 1 additional hex and add 2 dice to each of its combat rolls this turn. Wow, that's going to be fun on the Uthuk player's turn next time if we go ahead and play that. All right, that was the Uthuk player. They are up to 7 victory points now. The Dakan are only at 3 victory points. However, of course, the Dakan get to have their turn next to make the turns even. So we'll see what they can do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for the Dakan second turn and see if they can again shift the tide of battle here and maybe capture some victory points back. All right, thanks for watching.